Yahoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love, to Astro Fenixx, flying into the moment yet again, and radiating love as always. We're gonna get it this go around. I'm gonna get all 12 of y'all. Welcome to your Moon in Aries transit video for this current lunar cycle. And this is going to be a very powerful lunar cycle. I believe that all of them are powerful, but this one I'm just feeling is really going to unlock a great amount of potential within every single one of us. But it's going to be really up to us whether or not we have the courage and bravery to seize the day and to move forward in new, innovative, and just really this sense of that we really do believe in ourselves and we believe that we are capable. This moon in Aries is going to be conjuncting the wounded healer Chiron. But more so than that, it is going to be making a sextile over to this Gemini energy and squaring this Capricorn and Cancer energy. So in comparison to the sun, the moon will be in the 11th house. So this is going to be, of course, dealing with the humanitarian. It's going to be dealing with the resources, people, big groups. So there's going to be this sense where we're wanting to connect more to other people. We're wanting to build bridges. We're wanting to connect with our tribe. But since this moon is going to be in Aries, we need to learn how to bring our unbridled self, our unsaturated self. And that may trigger some people. So you may experience people getting triggered by you simply being you. And do not take this too personal, guys. Do not take this too personal. You may get triggered by this as well. We have to remember this moon is building up to the new moon that will be happening in Gemini next week, next Monday to be precise. So this moon in Aries, this is going to bring about more passion, more of this fiery energy, more impulsive behaviors, just wanting to kind of go for things and really act on, you know, these emotions. You know, the moon represents our emotions, it represents our soul. But there's this interesting dynamic here. Being in the 11th house compared to the sun, we also have the North Node in Cancer, which will be in the 2nd house in comparison to the sun. And then we have, you know, the South Node and we have the South Node, you know, in Capricorn. We have Saturn in Capricorn. We have Pluto in Capricorn, which in comparison will be in the 8th house. So we have the 2nd, 8th, and 11th house energy. We have this sort of, even though they're not in fixed signs, we have this sort of fixed quality to this moon transit. And what's going to happen is that you're going to notice this discord between, you know, you wanting to bring yourself forth in new and bold ways, but is it really going to mesh with this deepening sense of value that you have for yourself? And with the North Node in Cancer, this is really, in comparison to the sun being in that 2nd house, this is definitely saying that, you know, in order for you to fulfill your destiny, in order for you to walk this path, you really do have to embrace your emotions, and you do have to embrace all of your emotions, the wide range of emotions, and you can't ignore them. There's going to be this sense where people might want to try and just kind of glide over their emotions right now with the moon being in Aries, not really consider them. But we really can't be doing that. There's going to be this dynamic between the 2nd and 8th house energy in many ways, with all this Capricorn energy being in, you know, that 8th house in comparison to where the sun is. And that's talking about these deeper desires, these deeper wants, but the South Node is there. So there may be this discord between, you know, wanting to really tap into what is it that makes us feel joy? What is it that makes us feel like we are doing something and giving ourselves to this world, giving all of ourselves to this world in every moment, and these deeper desires and passions and wants that may be projected onto us by society. And we all have this, we all experience this. I'm no exception to this. You know, there can be people out there that can be like, oh, everyone's on their phone nowadays, or everyone's on social media nowadays, everyone's on this, everyone's on that. But here's the other cool thing about this, you know, there's nothing necessarily wrong with all of this technology. You gotta remember, Aquarius rules technology, and with the moon being in Aries in the 11th house in comparison to the sun, it's about how you use that technology to express who you are. And it's how you use that technology to express the truth of who you are, express the love of who you are, what you're here to do, what you're here to give, what you're here to create, what you're here to manifest and build. So we can either build upon these quote-unquote negative tropes, and we can really ostracize ourselves from other people in a negative sense to where we're pushing people away that may actually want to be there for us and hold space for us. Or we can use this technology and we can use, I mean, we live in this time, we live in 2019, so we are supposed to be using this technology. We're supposed to be using these facets. We're supposed to be using these things that we have been blessed with so we can connect with each other. Even though it may feel like we are in a disconnected world, it's like we have this technology and we have these inventions to also learn more about ourselves, but also kind of reconnect back even stronger. So, and you know, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about what I was going to say during this video in the shower, and I had this image of ice cubes for some reason, even though the moon's going to be in Aries. And it's like, you know those like ice cube trays and stuff like that, of course, where you put the water in the tray, you have to set it in the freezer, then you have to wait some time for it to freeze, and then you're able to put it into, then you're able to put it into your glass, whatever like that, for your water or whatever it is that you put it into. There's an element here where not only do we kind of have to wait for things to kind of come into their manifestation and not necessarily rush the process, but there's also this element of like, are you finding yourself kind of going into a mold that has been crafted for you? Are you going into a mold that's already been here, and are you just kind of flowing into it? That's the other thing about this moon in Aries, conjuncting Chiron. There's this deep healing that's going to be happening with this. And with it being in the 11th house compared to the sun, not only is this healing individual, but it's on a collective level, a big collective level. So it's like, we can try and, there's nothing wrong with fitting molds every now and again, because we all fit some type of mold, right? We all kind of fit into this ice cube tray. But at the same time, you don't want to just be a square, you know what I mean? You don't want to just be a square or a rectangle. You want to be a sculpture, right? You want to be like an ice sculpture, like a swan, or a, I don't know why I heard raccoon for some reason, or a squirrel, because there's a squirrel over here, or, whatever have, like, I don't know, someone may create like a DNA molecule out of ice, And what's interesting about that is that even though it's ice and it's cold, but when you kind of see yourself as that sort of sculpture, you have the ability to create yourself in the way that you want to see it. And if that way really resonates with your heart, and you know what I mean, I say these fluffy terms, radiate love and all this sort of stuff, manifest, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. It's not something that necessarily can be brought across with the logic. It's a feeling. So you know the feeling. So you know if you are just kind of coming out as a regular ice cube, or if you're coming out as like an ice sculpture, right? So this moon in Aries is going to give us the opportunity to really be brave and be bold and really express who we are and not be afraid to make the connections that our soul truly desires. I'm going to start drawing cards for these too. We have the water buffalo here coming in as our animal card. And, oh, look at that. It says, face life head on with courage and reclaim the brave spirit within you. It's funny, I dropped the card. Sometimes we fall down. Sometimes we get hurt. And that's that Chiron energy. Sometimes we fall down. Sometimes we get hurt. But even when you fall down, you have to have the courage and bravery to move forward. And I'm going to employ the example of one of my favorite characters, Ash Ketchum. He's lost so many battles. He's lost many leagues, but he keeps moving forward. And really, he's really creative in the way that he battles. Whenever he, whenever he's down in a battle, he always figures out something. He's always thinking differently. He's always in this sort of inventive state of how to battle, how to move forward, how do I get stronger. And, the water buffalo, there is power there, it's like, I'm even getting flashbacks from, like, the Lion King and stuff like that. But, we have to face life head on. We have to face life head on. We can't just go at this like a square or a rectangle. you have to create a beautiful life sculpture. And you are the sculpture. You are the sculptor and the sculpture. So don't be afraid to move forward and be bold. Don't be afraid to connect with other people. This is going to be a transit, this moon in Aries, where we're going to definitely be wanting to connect to our tribe and connect to those who remind us of who we really are on the inside. That is it for your moon in Aries transit video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you would like a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to astrofenixx.com. And as always, my beautiful brothers and sisters, always remember to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile often.